Namaste everyone. Okay, so let's begin today's class. Sit up straight on your mat. Now close your eyes. Now make any mudra that you wish for. Take a deep breath in and then long exhale out. With the next inhalation, we will chant 3 times Om together. Take a deep breath in. Join your hands together in front of your heart center. Bow your head down. Pray to the God for today's energy, for today's practice. Now open your eyes while blinking. Namaste to everyone. Okay, so let's get started. Stand up straight on your mat. So we will do short vinyasa flow, then we'll go further into alignment of the posture. So now as you inhale, stretch your arms up over the head. And then exhale, bend forward, hands on the floor. Now as you inhale, halfway look up, spine straight. And then exhale, walk your legs back into Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. And then exhale, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Hold there for 3 breaths. 1. Keep pedaling your legs out, bend your one leg at a time. 2. 3. With the next inhalation, jump forward or walk your legs forward between your hands for the halfway look up. And then exhale, completely bend forward, hands on the floor. Now inhale, stretch your arms over the head. And then exhale, again bend forward, hands on the floor. Inhale, halfway look up, spine straight, Ardha Uttanasana. And then exhale, walk your legs back for Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, upward facing dog. Exhale, roll back on your toes for the downward facing dog. Now stay there for 3 counts. 1. Abdominal breathing through your nostril. 2. And 3. Now walk your legs forward into forward bend or halfway look up. And then exhale, completely bend down, hands on the floor. Inhale, take your hands up over the head, all the way come up high. And then exhale, again bend forward, hands on the floor. Now inhale, halfway look up, spine straight. And then exhale, again jump back to Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Stay there for 3 more counts. 1. Press your heels on the floor, spread your fingers out. 2 and 3. Now jump forward for the halfway look up or walk your legs forward. Exhale, completely bend down, hands on the floor. Inhale, stretch your arms up over the head. And then exhale, again hands on the floor. Now from there, we'll make a transition in between postures and then send your right leg back. Just send your right leg back. Keep that leg straight. And then, no, just send your right leg back only. Keep your left leg in front. Now stretch your arms over the head for the high lunge. Stretch your arms over the head into high lunge. Good job. And then interlock your fingers behind your back. Just take your hands back, interlock your fingers. Exhale, completely bend down, lower your head down towards your right foot or left foot. This is called humble warrior. Press your back heel on the floor. Inhale again, all the way come up high, stretch your hands over the head. Exhale, place your hands on the floor, jump back to Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog, and then downward facing dog. Now jump forward with the next inhalation, halfway look up. Exhale, completely bend down. Now send your left leg back. Yes, keep that leg straight. And then stretch your hands over the head for the high lunge. Now your hips are completely square towards your right leg. Now take your hands back, interlock your fingers. Roll your arms in and then completely bend down towards your front leg. Stay there. Feel that stretch on your back leg and take your front knee out from the center of your body. Inhale, sweep your arms up over the head, again back to the previous position, previous pose. And then exhale, hands on the floor, again jump back to Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog, and then downward facing dog. Pedal out your legs one by one. Breathe in and out. Inhale and exhale. Now from there, take your right leg up in the air, all the way high for 3-leg downward facing dog. Now walk your both hands towards your left leg. Just take your both hands back for the standing split. Walk your hands back towards your left leg. Yes. And keep extending your right leg up in the air. Keep extending high. Make a toes pointed. And then hold 3. Take your hands back. 2. Find the balance on your left leg. 1. Now exhale, flatten your palms on the floor and then walk your hands forward. Now lower your chest down into Chaturanga Dandasana. And then inhale, upward facing dog. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Now send your left leg back up in the air for 3-leg downward facing dog. Stretch. Keep stretching your left leg high. Keep stretching hips square. And then walk your both hands back towards your right leg. and keep stretching your left leg high in the air. So this is your standing split. Now walk your hands forward, again back to the Chaturanga Dandasana, and then inhale, upward facing dog, and then exhale, downward facing dog. Good job. Pedal out your legs one by one. Now press your palms, bend your knees, jump outside of your palms into yogi squat. Do you know yogi squat? Yes. So jump outside of your palms, join your hands together in front of your heart center. Yes, Hardi, just take your hands out, more out. अपने heels को drop करो, अपने heels को drop करो, flatten your feet on the floor, और legs को थोड़ा और open करो, according to the hip distance. अपने feet को और open करो, and then join your hands together. अपने heels को push करो, flat करो अपने feet को, flat पूरा fit करो नीचे. अगर hard हो रहा है, then you can use something underneath your knees. Okay. Now join your hands, open up your chest. Now from there, take your both hands out to the side. From there, take your hands out to the side. Yes, from inside of your leg. Take your hands out from inside of your leg. Just look at Kate. Just look at her. And then palms on the floor, and slightly bend your knees and then lower your head down. Now lower your head down without moving your hips. Good job. Just look at her, everyone, so that you can understand how are we going to do. So your hands should go from inside of your legs, and then bend your elbows and then lower your head down. Good. And then hold. 1. Keep stretching your legs. 2. And your spine together. 3. And keep increasing the mobility of your hip joint. 4. Stay very nice. And 5. Inhale. Come up high. Now from there, again jump back to Chaturanga Dandasana. Yes, inhale, upward facing dog. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Now pedal out your legs one by one. Bend your one leg at a time. Now step your right leg forward between your hands. And then sweep your arms up over the head for the warrior A. So you guys must know the warrior A. Yes. So we are going to talk about this warrior A today. Okay, so today's topic is warrior A. We are going to understand how we are going to perform this posture. Okay. So just try to rotate your front leg, just back leg inward and front leg into the neutral position. Okay. Make sure your hips are square towards your front leg. You're rotating your back foot inward, front leg into 90-degree angle. And then exhale, hands on the floor. Again, jump back to Chaturanga Dandasana. Now inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now downward facing dog. Very nice. Now step your left leg forward, arms up over the head. Again, keep your hips square towards your front leg. Sorry. Yes, just check out the alignment of this warrior A, how your front leg is rotating, how your back leg is rotating. Okay. Now exhale, hands on the floor. Now again, jump back to Chaturanga Dandasana. Now inhale, upward facing dog. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Now stay there for a while. Now drop your knees down, rest in child pose. Okay, so let's talk about this warrior A. Normalize your breath. Take your time to come back. Okay, so if you guys are ready, just sit up straight. Sorry for this. Okay, so let's talk about this warrior A. So what is the difference between warrior A and high lunge? Do you know the high lunge pose? In high lunge, our back heel is off the floor, and your back knee is off the floor, as same as like warrior A. But your hips are even more square, like completely square towards your front of your leg. But in warrior, it's very hard to rotate your back leg inward because your back foot is also rotating slight outward, right? So let's perform high lunge first, then you will easily understand. Just everyone, please come up straight. Stand up straight. Now step your right leg forward. Yes, right leg forward, back leg straight. Yes. Just look at row. Then yes, everyone, very nice. So lift your back heel off the floor. Stretch your arms up over the head. Stretch your arms over the head. So this is your high lunge in which we are not dropping our back heel on the floor. Okay. So we are having that nice extension on our hip flexor. Hip flexors means your frontal part of your pelvic girdle. And your back leg should be straight, it should be engaged, and your heel should be right above your toes. Okay, I'm just talking about our back leg, not front leg. Okay, so your back heel should be above your toes. If it's leaning forward or leaning backward, that means you're not stable into this position or this pose. Okay, just row, just send your toes slight more back. uh, yes, and then keep that leg all the way straight. So there should be no bend in your joint. Good job. So this is your high lunge. So in which our hips are completely square. You will have a little arch on your lower back, but that is fine. But you need to just engage your butt so that you can avoid your lower back arch. Okay. So if there is slight arch, that is fine. If it's deep arch, then you have to squeeze your butt in and then pull your chest high so that your spine gets straight. Understood? And then exhale, release, 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 release. Yes, release down. Now let's do this. Let's do warrior A from the other leg. Okay, this was high lunge. Let's do warrior A from the other leg. Left leg forward, right leg back, and then yes. So in warrior A, what are we going to do? We are going to press our back heel on the floor, and we are trying to push our back hip forward so that it gets in line with your front hip, right? Okay. Now stretch your arms over the head and just understand the position of your hips, how that is going to move. So if your hip is tilting forward, that means you are not engaged with your butt. You are just trying to leaning forward on your front leg. So just avoid, try to bring that all awareness on your back leg. Reach up high, pull your abdomen in, pull your abdomen, very nice, good job. And then exhale, hands on the floor, jump back to Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog, and then exhale, downward facing dog. So now after this, again, we will get into the warrior A.
Can you
Let's
please
get to
do
the warrior.
and show?
Uh, I'm really sorry. I do not have mat. I'm just sitting in the chair in the office, or because internet is not working in my hall. So that is it. But I'm trying my best to make you understand. Okay.
Okay, okay.
I'm
No
really
problem.
sorry for this
No
inconvenience.
problem.
Okay. So now step your right leg forward. Now step your right leg forward and stretch your arms up over the head. Now understand what I'm trying to say here. Yes, drop your back heel on the floor. Back heel should be on the floor. Just look at row and then you will understand everything what I'm saying. See, if your knee joint does not have mobility, right? It does have only two action, extension and flexion. Let's suppose this is your knee joint. You can only extend, you can only flex, but you cannot rotate because the moment when you start to rotate, yes, everyone, please sit up straight and then look at me here. Otherwise, you get tired. Yes, just look at me here and then understand what I'm saying. So let's suppose this is your knee joint. So your knee joint does have only two action. What are these? This is called extension. This is flexion. But if you're moving from your knee and then you're trying to rotate, make a circle. So it's not coming from here. It's directly coming from here, from your shoulder socket or from your hip girdle. Okay. So the moment when you try to rotate your arm all the way out, like you're trying to make a circle, so that movement is directly coming from your shoulder socket or from your leg. The same thing applies in your pelvic girdle. Okay, we do have two girdle, shoulder girdle and a pelvic girdle. From there, we should have mobility. Okay, so when you're trying to rotate your back leg inward, at the time you may have felt that knee pain, like your knee. Have you felt any knee pain when in Warrior A in your back knee? Have you felt? No. So let's feel it. What do we usually do wrong in this posture? This row. Would you like to perform us for us? Now keep your right leg straight, left leg back, very nice. And try to push your back hip forward. I mean, just try to keep your hips square, push your hip forward. Just look at her leg, look at her back leg, how it is rotating. When she's trying to rotate her back leg inward, so it is just rotating from the top of her top of her thigh bone, right? It's not rotating from her lower leg. Because your knee joint has stability, you cannot twist your knee. You can only extend and flex. So now again, release, row, and then again push your hip forward. Okay, from the other leg. Again push your hip forward. Yeah, from the other leg. Yes, left side. Yeah, this is also fine. See, just look at her hip. This is her neutral position. When she's trying to push her left hip forward, so what is going to happen here? Just look at her knee and look at her hip joint. So she's just trying to rotate from her top of her top of her thigh, right? She's not rotating from her knee joint. So we do have that twisting. Her upper leg is rotating. Let's suppose her upper leg is rotating 45 degree angle inward, but her lower leg is rotating only 30-degree angle inward, right? So there is 15-degree angle left. So let's suppose her upper leg is rotating 45-degree angle inward, lower leg is rotating 30-degree angle inward. So there we do have 15-degree angle left, right? So whichever amount of angle is left, so that is going to hurt our knee because we do not have mobility in our hip joint. If let's suppose if you have mobility in your hip joint, then you can easily rotate your ankle, you can easily rotate your knee joint if we had, but we don't have that mobility in our knee joint. So that is why it is said, if you cannot push your upper hip forward, so just keep it even, like your lower leg. Like your lower leg is rotating 30-degree angle, so keep your upper leg into 30-degree angle. No need to push your hip even further than before. Okay. So if we are looking at in the high lunge pose, what does happen in that pose? In your high lunge, your hips are completely square because your lower leg and your upper leg, they are rotating evenly inward. But in Warrior A, your lower leg and your upper leg does not rotate evenly inward. If you're trying to keep your hips completely square, is it getting hard to understand? No? Have you understood, Ro, what I'm trying to say? Just please make them understand while performing, then it's going to be very easy for everyone. Because I cannot perform here because we do not have a space to perform.
The hips are facing forward, square hips, and you are taking from the hip, not from
Yes.
the knee joint. But making sure that the leg is straight and pushing the right hip back and the left hip forward. So you want to be facing that wall in front of you.
Okay, so see, in the warrior A, it is not necessary to keep your hips completely square, but in high lunge, you can easily keep your hips square. Just come up into the high lunge row. Just come up into the high lunge. Just look at her hip now. So they are completely square, right? Because her lower leg and upper lower leg means your shin bone and upper leg means your thigh bone. They are evenly rotating inward because her heel, like her back heel is off the floor. But the moment when she drop her heel back on the floor, the moment, yes, just look at her hip, is trying to rotate outward, right? If she's pushing her this left leg push, like if she's pushing her left hip forward, then she will have a lot of pressure in her knee joint. So that is what we are going to avoid, and that is what we are going to bring that awareness. Okay, so make sure whenever in the warrior A, no need to push your hip all the way forward, otherwise you will have injury on your knee. Okay, and in high lunge, it is going to be very
Question?
easy to get there. Yes,
Yeah, I
yes,
just wanted to know,
Anusha ji.
this warrior A, we have to keep this foot facing the camera, right? And the other foot will go.
No, not this side to that side,
No?
45-degree angle inward.
So this will also rotate or only
Yes.
this one? This leg that is
Yeah,
behind.
this leg will also rotate in.
So how much will it rotate? Very little?
It will rotate into 45-degree angle, a bit more
it's
in,
just this much.
bit,
It's just going to rotate this much, right?
not this much, a bit more in. Because we are trying to keep our hips square. If you want to keep your hips square, at the time you have to rotate your legs inward. If it's rotating outward, then you cannot find your hips square.
So
Rotate your back leg more in.
it will be diagonally straight, right? It
Yeah,
will be
diagonally to the 45-degree angle.
Yeah,
to the
and
side.
this one will be
Yes.
here, right?
Yes, yes.
And hips
And
we are
front leg,
keeping
yes,
lying
front leg
with
would be
the
there.
edge of the mat.
Yeah, edge of the mat.
So
Just let's try on you. Just sit, come up into the position. Now reach your hips. Sorry. Yes. Take your hands up. Yes. So now look at her hip. Are they completely square or not? Yes, everyone, please look at her. Look at her hip. Are they completely square or not? They cannot be completely square because her like back leg is resisting that internal rotation. Okay. So what are we going to do? If you are here into this position, that is completely fine. No need to push your back hip forward. Otherwise, you will have a lot of pressure in your back knee, and then you will have injury too. Just look at her hip now. Like it's not completely square. It is supposed to be like this. It is supposed to be like this. Like yeah, it's perfect. But if you're coming into high lunge position, just come up into high lunge. Come up into high lunge. Lift your back heel off the floor.
Yeah.
Just lift your back heel off the floor. Yes. And then sink your hips down. Now it is completely square. Her left hip and right hip, they are in one line, right? But in the warrior A, her back hip will slightly rotate inward, slightly rotate outward, and then she gets deepen into the posture like this. Okay, now this is fine. But her hip is tilting forward. So just pull your abdomen in. Yes, Anusha ji, just pull your abdomen in and then straighten your hands up over the head. Do not make any arch on your back. Just look at your palm. Do not make an yes. Now this is fine. Okay. So make sure your bone to bone compression is not happening in your front leg. Like her front thigh bone is not getting deepened into your pelvic girdle. Make sure you're not like compressing bone to bone action there. Okay? So your front leg into 90-degree angle, you have to be engaged with the thigh muscle, and then you're taking your arms up and pulling your abdomen so that your lower back gets straight. Yes, Anusa ji,
Yeah, got it.
got it?
Yeah, but
So this
I
is
was just
how,
asking, our target is to keep our, do we need to keep our hips square to the edge of the mat or not in warrior
no,
A?
no, 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 no. It is
No?
going to be very hard.
Okay,
It is not possible to keep your hips completely square in the warrior A
okay,
because our back leg is resisting our axle, like this internal rotation that is going to be resisted by our feet. Okay,
okay. Yeah.
so make sure your hips are not completely square. Just keep them in line, and one more thing, if you are looking at the warrior A, and you are going to look at from the front side, not from the sideways. Okay, if you're looking at your warrior A from the sideways, it won't be square. But if you're looking at your warrior A from the front side or back side, then it will be completely square. Okay, same like high lunge. In high lunge, whether you see from the sideways, whether you see from the front side, left side, or right side, it will be completely square. But in warrior A, you have to see from front side or back side.
Okay.
Understood?
Yeah.
Okay, uh, so here we are going to take our arms up over the head. If you have like kyphosis on your lower back, you're supposed to take your hands back or join your hands together. That is going to be easy for those who has hump on their back. And if you have scoliosis means the S shape in your spine. That is going to lengthen your spine. That is also beneficial for them. And if you have arthritis in your front leg or back leg in your joint, at the time you can use always cushion. Like use the cushion or like elevate, like use something underneath your front leg and then elevate your foot high.
Will a
Then it's
person
going to
with scoliosis be able to do it? Won't he have a pain in the back if he tries to do
see
this?
if you're using strap at the time you won't have that pain in the scoliosis. How are we going to use this strap? Uh, I cannot show you, but you are going to wrap one strap behind in your back leg, and then you're going to pull your hands high. Let's suppose I'm doing warrior A this side, so you're going to wrap that strap on your back leg, and then you're going to pull your hands high. So we need to have support when you have scoliosis.
Okay,
Okay, so
got
I'll
it.
make you understand once I get the space, and then I'll let you know.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
so other thing, what else you can do in this posture? Any idea? If you have any idea, so please let me know too. Any other idea that you have, like how can we modify the warrior A pose?
Maybe for people who have pain in the back, we can give a micro bend to the knee that of the leg that is behind.
Yes. So you
Yeah.
can also use the booster or block in your back leg, like underneath your back leg, so that you can get the support of that block. Okay. And one more thing you can use, you can go to the edge of the block, edge of the wall, and then you can adjust your back heel against the wall, and then you can get to this warrior A pose. Okay, this is also going to be beneficial for those who has a lot of pressure on their back. And any other idea or any other transition that you can make into this there? And one more thing that you can try. So let's suppose you're facing to the wall side and you're doing warrior A pose. Okay, at that time you can use the block in front against the wall, against your knee, like in between your knee and your wall. Okay, so that you can get the support, so that your knee does not go further than your toes. It will be in line with your ankle, in line with your toes. Did you understand? Now, uh, so let's try to understand what I'm saying. let's suppose this is the wall and you're doing warrior A here. Okay, so let's suppose this is your front leg. This is your front leg. So here you're going to use the block in between, like between your knee and between the block, between the wall. And then you're going to push your knee forward. Okay, so here you're going to maximize the strength of your thigh, maximize the strength of your pelvic girdle, and you can hold as long as you want. Okay, so okay, Anusa ji, do you have block or do you have
No,
block?
I don't have a block, but maybe we can use
Yes,
something,
yes,
a
Ro
box
does
or
have block.
something.
Ro does have block.
Okay, great.
Okay, just Ro, get to the warrior A against the wall, just to that side, that almirah, I think, that
If
covers.
I do it here, you can't see. Will I do it here? Or
Yeah, do it here, this side,
Yeah.
left side.
then you can
Yes.
see.
Yeah. Now to the warrior A. To the warrior A pose, very nice. Now adjust that block against the wall, against your knee.
Okay.
Yes, like this. Now take your hands up over the head. Now press your back heel on the floor. Just see that stability in her front leg.
You need to
Now,
see the feet.
yeah, we can see that. Just walk your front leg more forward. Walk your front leg more forward. Yes, and then push your knee down. Push your knee against the wall. Very nice. And then take your arms up. So now just see her front leg stability that is going to be increased. And now she's going to strengthen her front thigh even more, like more than before. Okay. So one more thing here, like you are tilting your hip forward, just tilt your hip upward, like squeeze your tailbone in, reach your elbow, reach your abdomen high, chest high. Yes, like this. Now this is fine. Okay. So this is how we are going to do the warrior A. And one more thing, if you are bending your front leg more than 90-degree angle or completely into 90-degree angle, then you cannot find the strength in your front thigh. Otherwise, you will be just holding into the joints. Okay. Just understand one more
So the
thing.
knee
If
and
you're bending
ankle
your
have to
front
be in
leg,
the same line.
yeah, knee and ankle have to be in the same line. Okay. And your
Okay.
knee
Well,
does not go further than your toes. It is, if it is in line with your toes, that is also fine. If it is in line with your ankle, that is fine. But if it is going further than your toes, then you're just extending. You're extending that limited range of motion. Then you will definitely have that pain, and you may tear your ligaments or tendons there. Okay. So, what is the main purpose of this warrior A? What does it do? Does it give you strength or does it give you flexibility?
it does both, I think.
It gives
Flexibility to
both.
the
Okay.
pelvic area and
Mhm.
strength to the hips, I think. Sorry, thighs.
Hmm. So what I feel like, it usually gives you the maximum mobility in your hip joint. The
Yeah.
mobility that usually comes in your joints, but the flexibility that comes in your muscles, right? Let's suppose if somebody is very stiff, he will definitely feel that stretch on their back leg, front leg, everywhere if he
Mm.
is stiff. But if you're already flexible, you won't feel that stretch on your muscle. But if you're just moving your back leg inward, then you can feel that mobility. Like you're trying to increase the mobility of your back hip joint and your front leg thigh strength. Okay, so basically it is like strength, it gives you strength as compared to that flexibility. If you want to go for this muscle stretch, you can go for the low lunge, high lunge, and you can go for Asvasanchalana, horse riding pose, or other poses we do have to feel the same stretch. But in this, it's like it's the warrior A, so it's going to give you strength like a warrior, right? So it has a purpose to give you strength. If you're just holding into the joint, you cannot find the strength. Like many people, what do? If their front leg gets even less than 90-degree angle, right? If your leg is if your front leg's angle is less than 90 degree, then you won't find the strength. So until unless you pull something against the gravity, you cannot find the strength. If you're getting towards the gravity, then you don't find the strength. If you going against the gravity, then you find the strength, right? Same thing happens here. If you are in the warrior A, if you're getting towards the gravity, you cannot find the strength. If you're getting away against the gravity, then you will find the strength. Okay. So your front leg should not be into the 90-degree angle. If it's 90-degree angle, you will have a lot of pressure on your front leg and you will be just hanging into your joints. Understood? So let's do it practically, then you will understand. Everyone, please come up into warrior A. Now come up into warrior A and then sink your hips down. Good job. Sink your hips down into 90-degree angle. The front leg into 90-degree angle. Very nice. And then stretch your arms over the head. So can you engage your front thigh? So it's still not into 90-degree angle. Just look at each other's one another leg. Just look at the screen and then see how you are doing. Is it into 90-degree angle or not? I don't see anybody is into 90-degree angle. This is perfect. We don't require to have 90-degree angle. Good job. Okay, now come up, come back. Release from the posture. Yes. Now, one person please perform the posture so that everybody can see that particular person. Anyone who would like to perform?
What?
Any of you can perform the posture so that everybody can see you.
I'll do it.
Yes, Anusaji, let's try on you. Or Kate. She's doing, I think. Okay, anyone? Yes, just look at her. Look at her leg now. So look at her lower leg and upper leg. Upper leg means front thigh bone. Lower leg means her shin bone, front shin bone. Okay. How long can you hold Anusaji there?
I don't think I can hold more than 30 seconds.
Not more than 30 seconds, right? If you are bringing strength in something, then you are supposed to hold for like long period of time. Okay.
Yeah.
So see, her leg was like this. If your legs gets higher than before, like it gets higher, then you can easily find the strength because you're getting against the gravity. If you're getting towards the gravity, you cannot find the strength because the gravity is pulling you down. You have to restrict the action which is pulling you down. Okay, so that is how we usually get the see now. So it's in 90-degree and it's in 90-degree angle. When it gets high, then it's like more than 90-degree angle, right? So
Yeah.
now you can easily find the strength you can hold for long period of time because the engagement of your thigh is maximum. It's like it's in optimum level now. But if she's getting down deep into the posture, now she's just getting that flexibility on. She's getting that extension on her thigh muscle. Understood? Make sure your thigh are engaged like a chair pose. In chair pose, we do not get all the way down. We always try to extend. We are trying to just extend high. We are trying to just resisting that pulling action. Okay, so that is how you can easily find the strength into any posture, whether it is Chaturanga Dandasana, chair pose, or these warriors. Did you understand what do I mean here? Okay, so what did you understand? Anybody here
So
would like to explain?
I think it has to be, you have to hold the position at 90 degrees, and then you can build the strength. But if you go less than 90 degrees, then the gravity is taking over. You can build the flexibility, but not the strength,
Mhm.
something like that. Maybe.
Something like this. Yes. Anyone else? Yes, Anusa ji.
No, I think the same point that if we hold it at 90 degree, we'll
Mhm.
develop strength 90 degree or a little higher than 90 degree. So the muscles of the thighs will get involved and engaged, and hence we'll be able
Mhm.
to develop strength. But
Mhm.
if we reduce the angle from 90 degree, then we can develop the flexibility in the hip joint like you were talking about, but not the
Yeah,
strength that we need.
that is strength. And even we won't find the flexibility too. You will have that bone to bone compression in your front leg.
Okay.
Okay, so that like your front thigh bone, that like femur bone, that is going to get inward towards your pelvic girdle, and that is going to pinch your nerves. So that is
Which
why
one?
we are not supposed to get lower than. That is why we are not supposed to get lower than your 90-degree angle. Even if you're getting above the 90-degree angle, that is fine, but do not get lower than your 90-degree angle. Okay, so so that we are going to keep in our mind when we are performing this warrior pose.
Okay.
Okay, so any question that you want to ask about this pose?
What are the contraindications that who should not do this particular posture?
See, who should not do this particular posture? If you have like slip disc, okay, if you have slip disc, make sure you're not making arch on your back, or you're just pulling high and you're taking your arms up like this. Make sure your spine is straight. If you have arthritis, like very bad arthritis in your ankle joint, then you're not supposed to do
Yeah,
it.
it's creating pressure
And
on
what?
the ankle joint also, na?
Yes,
The
yes,
leg
yes.
that we keep behind, we keep it tilted, and when we bend down, it creates a pressure on
Hmm.
this area of your ankle. I think it
Yeah,
gets stretched.
yeah, yeah, ankle. Yes, yeah. So वहाँ पे we are not supposed to just push our ankle down. If you have arthritis, at the time you can use something underneath your ankle, or take the support of the wall so that you can transfer your body weight. Yes. So that you can transfer your body weight towards the wall, or transfer your body weight towards your front leg like this. But if you have arthritis in your one leg, if you have arthritis on your both leg, then it's going to be very tough for them to perform this posture.
And
Okay.
people suffer
And
from
if you
BP
have
and all.
hernia,
Okay. Yeah.
so yeah, so maximum people, what do? They usually make arch on their backs. Okay, so we are supposed to just keep our spine straight, then it is fine. If you have hernia, then if you are making arch on your back, then you will have, like, you're going to increase problems in your body. Okay, so make sure your spine is straight. If you have lordosis in your lower
Hmm.
back, and then again you are just trying to make an arch on making arch on your back, then you will have more deep curve in your back. Okay, that is going to get deepened into that lower back. So make sure your spine is straight, then you're getting into this posture. Otherwise, we do not have like like so many contradictions in this posture.
Okay.
Okay.
People with sciatica can do this,
So
I
what are the
think.
benefits of the posture?
The strength, building
Yeah, what
strength.
are the benefits of the posture? Yeah, that builds strength. What
Mobility.
else? The mobility, that increases mobility in your hip joint, even in your arms too.
It even stretches our entire rib cage upwards.
Rib cage
Back,
upward.
the entire
If
back
if you have,
spine.
if you have kyphosis, whoever has this hump on their back, they can do this posture, that is going to extend their spine, and then you can easily get rid of that kyphosis problem of your from your spine. What else?
It opens the chest.
Yeah, that helps to open our chest. See, if you cannot take your hands upward with a straight arm, then you can always grab your elbows. So this directly influences your chest. Okay, so if you're grabbing your elbows, that will directly influences your chest and you can easily get back. But if your hands are straight, it is going to be very hard to get that extension in your thoracic region. Okay, so grab your elbows whenever you're taking your arms up over the head. Then you will have more extension in your thoracic region. Okay, but if your arms are straight, then you're trying to get back or bending back. It will be hard to feel that like maximum stretch here in your thoracic region. Okay. Okay, so this was all for today's class. So let's finish. So tomorrow is Saturday, so one of you guys is going to teach vinyasa. Okay, so just be prepared. I can ask anybody here to instruct. All right, just be prepared. It will be like 10 minutes or 5 minutes flow. Then it is going to develop your skills too. Okay, everyone, say yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's finish today's class. Join your hands together in front of your heart center. Then close your eyes. Okay, so let's finish with one Om followed by three Shanti. Take a deep breath in. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bend your head forward and then open your eyes while blinking. Namaste to everyone. Enjoy your day, evening, or morning, whatever is there in your country. Bye-bye. Bye.